Looks like a scene from a creepy, crawly movie, doesn't it? But it's really just worm poop, or vermicompost, and it's premium stuff. I'm harvesting the castings, worm poop, from my worm bin today. Let me show you how. I lay out a plastic tarp, dump out all the contents from the bin, scrape out the stuff that's on the bottom, and scoop it up into heaps. I turn on a bright light above, and the worms will dive into the center to get out of the light. And then we wait about 15 minutes or so. Almost a quarter of household waste is food scraps. Vermiculture, or composting with worms, is a fast way to get that waste into the natural cycle of things, rather than packing it away in a landfill. Worms produce a rich, dark soil that I add to my herb pots and eventually to my garden. Once I start gardening, that is. To harvest the castings, we gotta start at the beginning. Let's make a worm bin. You could buy a nifty and expensive pre-made bin, or use an old trunk or drawer, or build a simple wooden box. I like to make mine out of durable plastic containers, 8 to 16 inches deep. And then I drill holes 3/8 of an inch in diameter on the sides and on the bottom for drainage and aeration. And then you're good to go. Don't worry about the worms wanting to crawl out. Their food's going to be inside the bin. Now, back to the heaps. Just scoop off the dirt from the sides and the top until you see the worms diving down. Ah, there they are. You can also get it from the sides. And then put that compost over here on the screen and come back and reshape the pile.
Oh, looky that one.
There we go. And now what? We wait. This is a good time to make our bed. The worm bed, that is. Worms like shredded newspaper, cardboard, paper egg cartons, but no shiny papers, okay? Brown leaves, peat moss, coconut husk, hey, and sawdust is great. And what do you do with the old financial statements? Shred them up and put them in. And you can use any combination of this material as long as you leave some pockets of air in the bedding. So the bedding needs to be moist but not soggy, just like that. And throw in some dirt for the grit that the worms need for digestion, and you're done. Now let's go see how far my worms have buried themselves. Ah, they're getting deeper and deeper. Let's get all the good stuff off, okay? You'll want to use a colander or a screening material like this to separate the compost from the biomatter that's not quite decomposed yet. You'll want to save that for later. You might find a few worms in here too. Just save those, because we'll put those into the new bin. And this is the gold. And to think, it came from food waste. I'm not going to waste 1 tablespoon of this super plant food. So, what kind of food do worms like to eat? Fruit peels and pulp, but no citrus, it's too acidic. I put seed sacks for my melons and avocado and peach pits into my compost pile outside because they decompose too slowly.
We love veggie scraps and coffee grounds too.
You guys know that too many coffee grounds upset your tummies. Really, I give them only a little bit. The rest go outside. Coffee filters decompose nicely, and tea bags too.
Bread. We love bread. So soft and chewy.
Hey, that's only good for you if you hold the mayo. And hold the butter too. No dairy or oily products, no fish or meat, and nothing moldy if you want to avoid odor and pest problems. To expedite decomposition, chop up the food into small bits before putting it into the worm bin. Let's see if the heaps are done. It's the return of the worms. It's time for Biddy Bye for my buddies. To assemble a worm bin, just fill it 3/4 full of bedding. Now it's the worms. And I'm going to pick this up. And now you add the food. Now top that with just a couple of more inches of bedding. And then add this plastic. That sheet will help reduce odor, retain moisture, and help prevent fruit flies. My worm bins are in the entry room off the garage. You can keep worms in the garage itself, or outside on a balcony, or even under the sink. It doesn't really matter, as long as it's between 50 and 80 degrees.
Worms are so sensitive.
I'm Jean Baumann, bringing you the tools to be sustainable today. I'm an everyday gal, making my everyday choices count. And you can too. Now, where do you get worms if you're just starting out? Well, you can look on the web. There are suppliers all over the place. Or you can ask a friend like me for some. We always have a handful of buddies that we're willing to share.